Going to change direction right now. We're going to bring in addition, Kevin Mambo, who I mentioned before. He is one of the actors who plays Fela Kuti in the new Broadway musical Fela. Fela Kuti being the Nigerian musician and symbol of resistance. Kevin is amazing in that role, according to one of my producers who saw the play last night. Amazing. Paige Cowett, WNYC. This is going to be in the blurb. And he is here now not just to talk about the Broadway show, but also the connection between the legacy of Fela and the continued fight for human rights everywhere. So, Kevin Mambo, welcome to WNYC.
Good morning.
And what's the connection between Fela Kuti and Amnesty International? Why are you two coming here together?
When I speak to fans of this show, it's very interesting that many of them don't really understand the African paradigm and sadly don't understand how relevant his music and his words were then and how they apply now. For Fela Kuti, his weapon of choice was music. He designed Afrobeat as a way to express discontent with the government, as a way to express discontent with war, armies, and corrupt government. So that was his method of being able to reach many people. I mean, this song came out in the late 70s, and at that time, without any advertisement or any major label endorsement, he sold over 1 million records in Africa.
And I guess I should mention that you two were scheduled for today at this time anyway. Before we knew we were going to do a segment on President Obama's Nobel Peace Prize speech, we were going to talk about the play. So if you didn't already exist, we would have had to invent you. But Larry, how about the connection between Amnesty
there's
and
a very
the
direct
play?
There's a very direct connection. Amnesty International adopted Fela as a prisoner of conscience. People around the world, as they are today, were writing letters on behalf of Fela, as they are today, writing letters on behalf of many other people, trying to get him free. And we did succeed in getting him out of prison. He then later came to the United States, took part in an Amnesty International concert called Conspiracy of Hope with Bono and with Sting and with others, using the power of his music to advance human rights, not only in Nigeria, not only in Africa, which were, of course, central to his mission, but also around the world. So he is an extraordinary figure for the world to know about, to learn about, and to follow. He combines, and the production, which is the blurb that you gave is correct. It's extraordinary. Combines the power of music and the power of human rights and the power of an individual to make a difference in the world in a way that I've seldom seen. So I hope everyone gets there and sees it.
So, Kevin, was there any discussion among the cast when President Obama was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? Like, oh, it shouldn't go to this head of state. It should go to somebody who is Fela-like from some country in the world today.
Well, we were getting close to opening time, so none of us were really present to take part in any media or listen to anything outside of our walls. What most interests me, particularly as a musician and an actor, is his hybridization in terms of taking a Nigerian form of high life, mixing that with American funk influence, mixing that with Afro-Cuban drum, and really creating a global Pan-African hybrid sound that's accessible to anyone. I mean, we speak directly to many of these issues in the show, but at the same time, people's ears aren't closed to it. People are actually willing and accepting of this message. The LA Times ran a review several days ago, and last night after the show, I was doing an interview, and several people came up to me and said, we're from Los Angeles. We read about the show. We decided to fly out just to see this tonight, and we're heading back home tomorrow. It's the most amazing thing that we've ever seen on stage. And as charismatic a person that Fela Kuti was, when you try to put that within the mold of a Broadway production, you have to ride that fine balance between, education and entertainment. And I've found, for the most part, our audiences are really thirsting to be educated. I mean, these were people who are, I think, originally from Germany, and said that they had never heard of Fela before. They had never heard of his music before. We introduced that to them, and they left the restaurant going home to Google as much as they can, to find out as much as they can about him. And ultimately, that is our message with the show.